Everybody, welcome to Home Based Business 101 here in the Side Gig Gurus community. I hope all of you are having an awesome Friday. Just coming live to you today to talk specifically about how you can actually plan for 2022 in the remainder of 2021. And I'm just making sure that I'm actually live here. My computer has been really interesting today. I'm just going to chalk it up as interesting, but I also want to make sure that I'm catching you guys that are going to be able to catch me live and see if I've got any questions that are coming in here. You might catch this though on the replay, or you might end up actually catching it on Spotify as one of our Home Based Business 101 podcasts. So awesome. Okay, perfect. Looks like all of my technology is actually cooperating today, which is a really good thing. You gotta love when that happens. So if you do happen to pop in live and catch this episode, I would love for you to just drop who you are, where you're from, and what kind of business you have. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Meredith Banka, and I am the founder of the Side Gig Gurus and also the creator of the course Home Based Business 101 and this podcast, which is also called Home Based Business 101. So, oh my gosh, 2021. We have how many days left? Today is December 3rd. So we've got, let me see, do the math. We've got 28 days left in 2021. Can you believe it? I feel like I blinked my eyes from December of 2019 to December of 2021. These last 2 years have just been absolutely incredible in so many ways, but also such an interesting time for all of us around the world. And I think in particular as entrepreneurs and as most of our listeners are female entrepreneurs, but for the guys out there too, this time frame between Thanksgiving and Christmas, from Halloween even, I would argue, through to Christmas, is just a race to the finish. But I want to provide you with some context today around some things that you can do that can actually help you to plan successfully for 2022. Because one thing I will tell you is if you wait until the holidays are over, you wait for January to get started before you sit down to write your 2022 plan, you're not giving yourself the best chance. And I'm not saying that you won't be successful, but what I am here to tell you is the earlier you sit down to write your goals, the earlier you sit down to think those things out, the better prepared you're going to be. So I'm a huge fan of having my plan completed before the Christmas holiday sets in so that I can actually relax and enjoy that time frame and then get back to work at the beginning of the year knowing exactly what I'm going to do. So how do I go about doing that? How do I go about planning for an entire year? Well, the way that I like to do it is I kind of use a baseball analogy here. And I know no matter what, I'm going to get up to bat for my business. No choice about that. I'm going to get up and I'm going to be in the game and I'm going to play. So first you've got to ask yourself, are you even in the game of your business? Are you playing a real game, or have you been kind of playing some rec league ball, playing some intramural sports versus really stepping up and allowing yourself to get out there and go for it with your business? So that's question number one. If you're up at bat with me, I'm up at bat there with you, you know that you have a really good chance of getting on base if you just swing the bat. But you got to swing the bat. And you also know that you might get a grand slam because it's possible. And you might get a home run. And you might also just get on first or second base. You might just get a base hit. You might strike out and you may also get walked. And all of those things are potential outcomes. But if you commit yourself to not failing, right? If you commit yourself to getting up and saying, nope, no matter what happens, I'm going to move my business forward. So if you do strike out, you just get right back up to bat again with any of the strategies or tactics you're going to put out there. So define for yourself spend some time dreaming. What would an absolute grand slam, we're talking bases are loaded, you're up at bat, you get the perfect pitch and you nail it. Like you can walk it in because it's so clear that this thing is out of the park. What does that look like for you in your business? You may couch that in terms of the number of people that you're able to impact. You may couch that in terms of financials. You may couch that in terms of number of leads or any other metric that you're keeping track of in your business. But I will tell you at the end of the day, it's really, really important to have your big goals be tied to revenue, because at the end of the day, isn't that why you're here? Yes, you want to make an impact. Yes, you want to change people's lives. Yes, you have something important to do out there in the world, but the metric of business is at the bottom line. If you go to the bank and you want to get a loan, they're going to say, "Show me the money." And I think it's okay to start there. Now, if you meet that financial goal, what does it mean for the bigger impact of your work? What does it mean? If you hit that financial goal, then how many lives have you changed? What are the results that you've been able to create for your clients, for your audience, in your community, in your life, for your family? What does that create? So don't just only have a money goal, because it truly isn't about the money. I'm saying start there, because it is a universal metric that you can use that has meaning. And if you're over the fact that it's okay to make money doing something that you love, or if you're not over that fact yet, but you want to be, then start with a financial goal. Okay, start with that financial goal. And from there, what I want you to do is to go ahead and say, okay, what does that equal? If I hit this financial goal, what impact am I able to have because of that? Grand slam. Then I want you to do the same thing for a home run. Okay, so let's say, for example, your grand slam would be like, whoa, if I could make, let's just say my grand slam is $100,000. If I could make $100,000 in my business next year, or if you're already established in your business and you're already making six figures and you say to yourself, well, grand slam would be like if I could make 500,000 in my business next year. Those are big, dreamy numbers. But what kind of impact do you have if you get there? So if 100,000, let's use that as our example, because so many of us that are starting these side projects, these side hustles, have this goal to eventually get to a six-figure income, because that's kind of a freedom level of income if you're working a side gig, and that's income that lets you probably walk away from your day job. So grand slam's 100,000. What's your home run? Is your home run half of that? Is your home run 25,000? It all depends on where you are today. So also understand, where are you today? Are you consistently making $5,000 a month? Well, that's $60,000. So to go from 60 to 100,000, that's not too big of a leap. But if you're currently just starting out and your revenue is zero, then going from 0 to 100,000, you better have a pretty darn specific plan to be in place to be able to do that if you haven't even started, marketing at all. But you can have that dreamy goal. So grand slam goal, home run goal, and then you know what? I would still be super stoked if I hit this base hit goal. What's my base hit goal? So kind of a low bar, a medium bar, and a high bar. Okay. Now I see that we've got a few people joining us in here live. So if you want to just say, hey, I see Nina is here. Yeah, she says I'm kind of clicking in and out a little bit. My internet has been kind of crazy the last few days. I'm not sure why, but we'll just keep going with it and see what happens. So you've got these goals now written down. Now you need to go back and you need to review that marketing game plan. And if you haven't done a marketing game plan, if you haven't done a marketing plan for yourself, then I have a great opportunity for you. I'm actually leading a free marketing game plan challenge starting this coming Monday, the 6th of December, for a week from the 6th to the 10th. It's 5 hours of training. It's a free ebook, which is the Side Gig Guru's marketing game plan. We walk through it step by step, and you will finish the week with a functional marketing plan that you can utilize to actually complete this year-long plan that we're talking about today for 2022. So you're going to go back to that plan and you're going to say to yourself, okay, what are the tactics that I'm going to put in place in order to be able to reach that monthly goal? How many customers do I need? How many people do I need to welcome to my opportunity? How many new clients do I need? How many returning clients do I need? What are the streams of revenue that are going to lead you to that monthly income goal? What percentage of your revenue is going to come from each one of those activities? So let's take all of our network marketing and direct sales members into account right now, okay? You guys can make money in one of two ways: by having customer sales or by having people on your team and having volume through your company's compensation plan. Are you 25-75, 25% from customers, 75% from team? Are you 50-50? Are you 75% from customers, 25% from team? Figure out what your ratios are, and then figure out what metrics you need to have in place in order to deliver that amount of income. And if you don't know, get somebody to help you figure that out. So let's say at the end of the day, you figure out that you need to add, and now let's talk about our service-based clients here too, or members here too for just a second. Let's say that you're a massage therapist, you're a hairstylist, you offer some kind of service that allows you to then bring in income for each service that you perform. You can do your math really easily. How many hours are you going to work a day? How many appointments can you take in a day? If every single one of those appointment slots was full, how much would you make? And how far are you from having those slots full? So then you begin to do the work to say, okay, I'm only 2/3 of the way booked out. How do I get booked out with that other third? What are my marketing tactics that I'm going to put in place? I could ask for referrals from my current clients. I could post in social media. I could advertise in local circulars. I could sponsor something. I could go to an event. Like, you can begin to make a list of all the things that you could do that will help you get those bookings, that will help you reach that goal. The other thing that's really important to do is, if you're in a service-based industry, is to run a max case scenario and make sure that your max case scenario actually aligns with either your home run or your grand slam goal. Because you're in an industry where you only get paid if you show up, and you have a finite, not an infinite, but a finite amount of time that you can work. There's only 24 hours in the day. So you can pretty easily figure out how much it's possible for you to make at your current price point and your current level of activity. Then you can fill in those gaps. And then you can say, okay, if that's still not where I want to be, what additional sources of income, what additional streams of revenue am I going to align with my business? Maybe you sell product, maybe you sell merch, maybe you teach, maybe you sublet. I mean, you can start brainstorming all these different ways to add a stream of income that will then let you get closer to your goal. So, if it's products, customers, appointments, figure out where you want to be, figure out how much of that revenue is going to come from each new client or customer that you onboard, and that will give you a number to shoot for. And then begin breaking that out by quarter. So you're probably not going to reach your highest income month the first month of the year if you're trying some new marketing or other types of strategies. So make sure to scale that up. If you want to take your income from $2,500 to, $4,000 in January, where's the $1,500 gap going to come from? Figure that out. And then ask yourself, what am I going to do to fill that gap? That then becomes your to-do list for December. So that's the work that you're laying down now that's going to produce the results the following month, and so on and so on. I tend to make these plans on a quarterly basis. So here are the big things that I want to do this year. Last year, the big thing that I wanted to do was release a course and release a podcast. This year, the big thing that I wanted to do was to release a group coaching program and to release a membership program. Okay, all of those things happened because I started thinking about them the year before I wanted them to. And then I slowly put into place the things that I would need to bite off month by month, quarter by quarter, in order to lay the groundwork to get those big projects done, which in turn brought in the revenue, which in turn allowed me to meet my goal. So you've got to map it out. As you're mapping it out, take into account, what do you have going on in your life? Do you have a big wedding? Do you have an anniversary? Do you have a trip? Do you have I still have school-age children, so I don't really plan any kind of big productivity stuff for the first 2 weeks of September or for the first 2 weeks of June, because that's the beginning of school and the end of school. And I know that all hell breaks loose during that time frame. So I'm kind to myself. I also know when spring break is, and I know when winter break is, and I know not to have expectations for myself around my business during those time frames. But get out a calendar, start planning it, start thinking about, how do I hit that goal? What are the things that I can put in place? And then tie it back to that vision that you have. Don't just start with the money, but don't end with the money. End with your why. If I do this, then I can have this happen. If I reach this level of financial goals, it will help me knock off this piece of my process. So, like I was saying, I am doing this marketing game plan challenge this next week. So if you're catching this episode now or happen to catch it over the weekend and you want to get in on that challenge, you can just go to meredithbanka.com/free challenge. I run these about every 6 to 8 weeks or so. So if you're catching this way down the line, just reach out and I'll get you the current info on the challenge. December, the challenge happens to be free. Usually there's a cost to it. But because it's been such an awesome year, I wanted to celebrate by giving the challenge to everybody who wants to take me up on it and participate in it for the month of December. We're really going to concentrate on this annual plan this next week. So please do go to meredithbanka.com/free challenge and you can get in on that. And then I'm also going to be talking more and more in the next couple of weeks about a membership opportunity that I have for all of you that is called The Collective with Side Gig Gurus. And I'm going to go live about that a little bit later next week and fill you in on the details of it. But for a sneak preview, if you're curious, just reach out, let me know. But it is an exclusive membership-based marketing education program specifically for you guys, for home-based business owners who are looking for that next level of success. So create that plan, put those goals in place, and begin breaking it down in pieces. I mean, how do we eat an elephant? One piece at a time. So that's my message for all of you today. Love absolutely having you here, catching me later in the podcast or on the replay in the group. And don't forget to sign up for that challenge at meredithbanka.com/free challenge. But for now, everybody, have a great weekend. Hope that's been helpful, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.